One of the wins of the season for the Philadelphia Phillies, if not the win of the season. We welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Pitalico, Ruben Amaro Jr. In a moment, we'll hear from Ben Davis. When you look at this one, a 5-4 Phillies win that really should have been a 5-2 Phillies win, but we'll get to that later. They had hitting, they had good starting pitching, and they now have a 6-game lead, who knows, maybe they can increase it to 9.
You know, it took the Phillies a while to get to Charlie Morton. I'm going to tell you right now, I think Brian Snitker made a really bad mistake in this ball game, leaving Morton in as long as he did, because I was sitting here, I was telling Ruben, I would take him out right now. This guy's fried, because first and foremost, the Phillies had runners on base to start the inning with nobody out in, what was it, 7 out of 8 innings.
7 out of 8. They had the leadoff runner
7 out of
on.
8 innings. And it took 2 big hits. It took a big hit by Brandon Marsh, hit the ball out of the ballpark. And then Casti, you know what, Casti? I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you don't have a plan hitting. Just keep doing what you're doing, because it seems to be working a little bit. Yeah, Christopher Sanchez was good. I mean, you know, you're going to make mistakes. You made a big mistake because Olsen hit that one ball a ton.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a rarity, though. From him.
From
Sanchez.
him, he had. I was going to say he had 50 home runs last
from
year.
Olsen.
From Sanchez. Sanchez is having himself a nice little year. Just keep throwing the ball, pal. You'll be all right.
All right, Ruben, you have anything to say?
Yes, I do.
We left after
I got
the
plenty
fifth
to
inning.
say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got to apologize to Dave Dombrowski, because I'm walking out in the 5th inning down the hall, and I said, they got no chance today.
Explain that you were upset.
Well, they had a couple of chances to score runs, and they did not get it done. And I thought Charlie Morton had sort of settled in, and it was after the 5th inning. And, you know, Phillies just had not been able to capitalize on the fact that Morton was really struggling. And, you know, I said it. I said, well, I don't think they have a chance today. And then Dave Dombrowski said, well, that's not very optimistic. And he was right. And I'm so glad. This is one of the best, if not the best win of the season. Great resilience by this ball club. Outstanding at bats at the end of the game, and they picked them apart at the end and picked up some big base hits, even after a couple of mistakes, and they played over those mistakes. Great job by the bullpen. They were fantastic. No runs after 3 1/3 innings, no hits. I mean, they were dealing. It was an outstanding job.
Gut punch.
No walks, 5 strikeouts. The Atlanta Braves right now, they got to be reeling after that ball game.
I'm told Dave Dombrowski will be sitting right there tomorrow night in your stead. Let's go across the street, not just to Citizens Bank Park, but to the dugout at Citizens Bank Park, the home dugout. There he is, the pride of Malvern Prep. Ben Davis called tonight's game with Tom McCarthy and John Kruk. Ben, when you look at this one, it looked like a long way from a Phillies win this evening, but they battled back as they do this team, and they end up winning this game 5-4. Great win.
It was really 2 ball games in one. You had the first half, there was absolutely nothing going on, and obviously the Braves taking control early on. And then they had the second half with Marsh and Castellanos with their big home runs, and the bullpen was phenomenal, the great defense. One bonehead base running error, but they were able to overcome that. But just this is a very good win, Michael. This is a very good win for the Phils. After what happened yesterday, it wasn't pretty. You're thinking they had 3 hits early on through the last 14 innings. So they had 9 innings yesterday and then 5 today. They had a combined 6 hits. And boy, they flipped the switch and turned that around in a New York minute.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know what? You brought up the bullpen a little bit there. Have they taken that turn finally where everybody seems to be following in line? I mean, we went through that little streak where Kerkering was struggling, Strahm was struggling, Alvarado, who is not here right now, was struggling. But now it seems like they all know their roles now, and it's almost like a train, you know, rolling down the tracks, and they're not going to be stopped.
Yeah, they threw the ball extremely well today. And I don't think we talked enough about Kerkering and the heavy lifting that he had. He went through that lineup. The stuff that was coming out of his hand tonight was electric. And it was the fastball command and the slider command. He's got more depth on it. And it seems like he's just really throwing the ball with more conviction right now. Like, I'm making this pitch right now, and I'm putting it right where I want to put it. If it doesn't go there, so what? I'll get it on the next time. It just, that conviction, I'm telling you, from being behind the plate, when you see that, your pitcher has that, it makes it a completely different ballgame. And the hitters can sense that. You know, Ricky, it's one of those things that you can feel, and you know, you're not touching me tonight, and that's exactly what the Phillies bullpen did again this evening.
Ben, there are so many superstars on this ball club. You know, you have Harper, obviously, and Turner. Those guys are MVP candidates. But can you talk about how important Castellanos has been to this ball club? He has just been phenomenal after that really, really slow start. He's just banging away, and he's picking them up in a huge fashion right now.
Yeah, the last 2.5 months, he has been the Phillies' most consistent hitter. And it's for average, it's for RBIs, he's doing everything. He's playing a tremendous right field.
Ben, what does this game say about I'll call it the superiority of the Phillies over the Braves? And I know they've got a losing record over the Braves this season, but when you think of this score of 5-4, how it should have been 5-2 because of the error by Trey Turner, the base running blunder by Brandon Marsh, they might have won by even more. And this team looked pretty good tonight, this Phillies team. I'm wondering what you think is going to happen the rest of this series.
Well, good ball clubs are able to overcome those obstacles or errors, mental errors and physical errors. Good ball clubs are able to overcome those, and that's exactly what they did today. They picked each other up, and obviously I thought Christopher Sanchez threw the ball very well. That was a big costly error by Trey Turner early on. It led to the 2-run homer from Olsen, his first one. But they were able to pick each other up throughout the course of this game. I think this was a great win because hopefully this sets the tone moving forward for the remaining 3 games in this series. And they can do that. They can really take a hold of this division and hopefully cement themselves in the top spot in the NL East and hopefully get a first-round bye.
Ben, I got to ask you a question. How was it with that angle, watching the game from that angle? It probably a little different for you and probably made you feel like you were back on the field again, huh?
It did. It was a great angle. You do, and I said during the broadcast, we forget how fast the game is. You know, we sit up there, and it's just the game's kind of moving in slow motion. But everything just happens so much faster at this level, and to see the way the ball comes off the bat, and you know, we can sit up there and say, "Oh, that ball was hit 110 off the bat," but once you see it down here on this level, it's different. And this is a ball club that I could see in the dugout. They were a little frustrated early on, but they were able to just get through that, push past it, and come out here with a great win. But this is a great view, and these fans, when Marsh hit that home run, this place erupted, and they just didn't have anything to cheer about for the first 4 or 5 innings. So to see them erupt in that fashion was just awesome.
Did Taryn give you any helpful hints?
She did not. I did not talk to her about it, but you know, I just tried to get as much information as I could today, and you know, go out there and ask as many questions to a couple guys and provide some information. But it was fun. I had a great time, and I'd love to do it again.
You did a great job, and it reminds me that difference between the field and the booth reminds me again going back to the 70s and playing for the vaunted Mr. Pizza team that did win the A-League championship. And the difference in the never mind.
You have the Phillies and you have Mr. Pizza. I can see why they're on the same plane
level. And you
level.
have the Phillies, and it's very close there, Ben. All right, Martin! They did a good job ultimately against Martin. All right, Norton, we'll see you later. Ben Davis,
guys, we'll
the great, joining us from the dugout at Citizens Bank Park. Here are your standings, and the lead is expanding. 6 games from 5.
This is all about saying goodbye. Say goodbye to the Braves, because this is you know what, just finish this series out. Knock them as far down south as you possibly can. As a matter of fact, how about knock them a little bit more south than the Mets, too? Would even be nice.
I like it, but here's the thing. We all know anything can happen. Nope. The reason tonight's game was so important. Come on, give it to me. If they lose the next 3, they're still up 3 games. They're not. You know what I mean? They're not getting swept.
Team, let's face it. They looked. Ruben was not wrong in what he said.
Yeah, we saw it.
Dave
we were over there.
This was one of those situations where this team looked absolutely lifeless early on in this ball game. Even when they had some situations, you're talking about Charlie Morton, and the funny part is they may have been thinking like I was, because when I think of Charlie Morton, I think of a stick of dynamite. You put it out there and you're just waiting for it to go off in the wrong direction, and that's exactly what happened tonight. You knew sooner or later he's letting that leadoff guy on. Nobody's scoring. When he got those 2 guys on to start off that inning, I said, done. He's all done, and boom, Marsh.
Well, let's show everybody how it happened happen, Ricky Bo. Bottom of the seventh we go.
But the way this guy's swinging the bat, look at these numbers.
Yeah.
Since June 17th, 304, 29 runs,
Look at the home run.
doubles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's raking. That is some serious damage.
Even before that, he was down at 194 at one point. He's got batting averages up 56 points. His on-base percentage is up 39 points. I mean, everything is up. The slugging's almost up 150 points. I mean, this guy has turned his stuff around. And you know what the greatest part is? Let's face it, we were hard on him last year. And we're hard on him when he struggles. And you know what he did? Here we go. I'm just going to play my game. And he almost went back. It almost like I'm going to go back to when I thought I was good. And I just started swinging. And it looks like, you know what, when he gets pitches that are out over the plate, he's not missing anymore. I don't see that guy reaching for pitches that are 2-3 feet off the plate all the time either.
It's a perfect example of a guy playing to his baseball card. Again, this was one of the best right-handed, most productive right-handed hitters in all of baseball for a lot of years before they signed him. And for them to have gotten him, I know he's had some struggles at times, but he is coming through in a huge fashion right now, coming up with big base hits. And you can tell this guy has no heartbeat, man. It's slow. He does not get caught up in stuff. He gets the job done. He's played great defense in right, as Ben talked about. And I'm really happy for this guy, and I'm happy for the Phillies that they stayed with him and that Topper continues to put him in the lineup every single day. People complaining, why do they keep putting him in every day? Well, he's a guy who plays every day because he wants to play every day, and he gives it to him every single evening.
And 304 batting average since June 17th with 10 home runs in that span. That's pretty good, and he had a 2-run shot tonight. What about his manager? What does he say about his play? Here's Rob Thomson postgame.
How's Bone feeling?
He's sore, but X-rays were negative, and we'll just reassess him tomorrow.
Did that on the swing?
Yeah, it was just kind of a weird finish, and I don't know, he pinched something in there, kind of a zinger. But he is sore right now. So.
And then you try to play through it.
Yeah, went out and played defense, and then we're going to reassess him afterwards, and he couldn't swing the bat, or he had trouble swinging the bat.
Is this one of the better wins of the season in your opinion?
I think so. Down 4-0 in this type of series, and the guys just kept coming. I thought the at bats were pretty good all night. We got Morton's pitch count up pretty good. I don't think we chased all that much. 6 walks, 8 strikeouts. They just kept battling.
What did you like about Hoffman in the 9th as opposed to?
Well, he was hot. So he was hot for the 8th. And I don't really like, when I can anyway, don't like sitting, getting him hot and then sitting him back down. So, and that was a good pocket for him. So I just decided we'll just stay with him.
But Sanchez was available.
Oh, absolutely.
Were you surprised that they left Morton in to face Marsh with Bummer warming up in the pen?
I don't comment on other people's moves because a lot of people comment on mine. And so out of respect for other people, I don't do it.
What have you liked about Marsh's at bat? I mean, the bat tonight and really the last week, maybe?
Yeah, he's just using the field, I know he's swinging and missing a little bit, but he is using the field, and that's his bread and butter. When he does that, he's really good. And 2 upfield hits tonight, the double and the home run, and the home run was huge. Got us back in the game, got the stadium, back in the game, and it was good.
You guys were working his pitch count early and worked him for some walks, but obviously weren't able to get runs across early. What did you see as a difference in the 6th that kind of enabled them to enable you guys to get on?
Well, in the 6th, what happened? JT got the base hit, then Marsh hit the home run. What happened before JT?
Single.
Casty base hit, kind of off the end of the bat, and then JT with a base hit. And I think at that point his pitch count was up pretty good. So I'd have to look at the tape and see where those pitches were, but maybe he wasn't commanding as well. I don't know, but the Marsh home run was huge.
When guys get away from using the whole field, is that just something that happens throughout the course of a long season? You just kind of get into a rut and get into a bad habit?
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes it's because of fatigue. Sometimes it's because you're trying to do too much. Sometimes it's just you're not seeing the ball very well. So you really have to stay focused. You really have to stay in line and think opposite field gap if you want to stay on the baseball.
So while you were liking the at-bats, the results really weren't there for a game and a half. And considering your record against the Braves this season, what can a comeback like this do for the rest of the series?
Well, we'll see. But I think you take one game at a time. That was a great win tonight. I thought Sanchez was really good. 1-0 fastball down the middle to the hottest hitter in baseball right now, and then he got on a changeup. But other than that, I thought he was really good, and the bullpen was outstanding. And you just try to carry the momentum tomorrow.
That guy's got ice water running through his veins. Rob Thomson. In fact, he
does.
Calm, cool, and collected. He's now on the Calm app, okay? That's how, okay, maybe
There's such
not.
thing?
Yeah, Calm app.
I've obviously never seen it.
Yeah.
We might have to get it for you.
Yeah, there is. The Calm app.
I'm good.
He is chill. I mean, you look up in the, anyway.
You have to try to play as clean a level of baseball as you possibly can because they will take advantage of the mistakes.
For the uninitiated, let me digress a little bit with regard to Trey Turner's fielding. We know what kind of hitter he is. He's going to contend for the batting title. His fielding, I think most would say, is average at best. He's an okay shortstop, but he's not a great fielding shortstop. Can you improve that at this point in your career? Is there anything?
I think he actually did. I mean, one of the things that was really important to him, and it was during spring training, he felt like he did not play very well last year and that he could improve. I think he has improved. There are times when he does make some mistakes. He also makes some great plays as well, Michael, but it's sort of some of the routine or the plays that would look routine to other shortstops. There are times when he does make some mistakes, and I'm sure, he's not trying to make mistakes. He's trying to work at it. He continues to work at it, and hopefully he can catapult himself forward in the last month of this season to do what's necessary to be a good, solid shortstop. That's as simple as that.
Let's hope so. Meanwhile, back to the pitching, in particular, the bullpen for a second straight night. Well, second game in 3, the bullpen is fantastic. Kerkering, Strom, Hoffman, look at that, zeros abound. What was the deal with Strom? He was annoyed a couple of times.
He's always annoyed.
With
He's
the
always
pitches he
ticked
was
off,
throwing.
but that's how a reliever should be. They should be bitter all the time. I like that.
Much like
bitter.
yourself.
I was never
Still.
bitter. I was never bitter. No, but when I watch him pitch, I like that he gets a little frustrated at himself that he may have just missed a pitch, or maybe the release point was a little bit off. And I'll tell you this much, the only time when Matt Strom was going in the wrong direction is when his breaking pitches, he slows things down, and you could see it as a hitter. I brought this up when he was in that slump. And he did it once tonight. He slowed it up to Laureano. He threw him a breaking ball. And you could almost see him kind of cast it out there. That's one thing you can't do. You just got to continue to throw through the baseball. And if you're kind of casting, you're throwing around the baseball. And that's where he gets himself into a little bit of trouble. I think the one thing with him is that attack, but you want to disguise your breaking pitches. And sometimes when he slows up, they could see it a little bit better, or they notice. And it might not even be a seeing it. It might be like just something looked funky coming out, and they could recognize that it was breaking ball.
When this bullpen's on, it's on.
Yeah, it really is. And in the last week to 10 days, one of the things that they've done is they've thrown strikes. They are not giving up free passes. I asterisk the fact that there were 0 walks, again, in 3 1/3 innings, 5 strikeouts. They're throwing strikes more consistently. They're trusting their stuff. I think Orion Kerkering has been outstanding, especially lately. He's really stepped forward when Alvarado was struggling. He has stepped forward for them, and that's a huge thing. But I think all of them right now are starting to gel a little bit. There was a struggle there for a while. They were struggling to throw strikes consistently. A lot of free passes. Right now, they're throwing strikes and they're getting the job done. Tremendous job.
Christopher Sanchez leaves tonight's game, gets the no decision, but he pitches well. Here he is, post-game clubhouse.
Christopher, just what you think about, the big comeback to start an important division series?
¿Qué tú piensas de ese regreso que hicimos hoy para empezar una gran serie de división, entre rivales de división?
Eso no es algo que no es una sorpresa. Todo el mundo sabe el equipo que tenemos y creo que no es una sorpresa.
That's not a surprise. Everyone knows what kind of team we have, and it shouldn't surprise us.
How'd you feel about your start?
¿Cómo tú sentiste sobre tu salida?
Bien, bien, en general bien. Olson, que me agarró 2 veces, pero bien, bien.
I felt good overall. Olson got me twice. I'll say that, but overall I felt really
Eso es
good.
parte del juego, eso.
That's just a part of the game.
Full week off in between starts. I mean, how did that affect you? Did you feel like you had more in the tank coming off of 7 days or 6 days like that?
Una semana completa luego de tu última salida, ¿tú crees que eso tal punto te afectó de alguna manera? ¿Tú tener el tanque completo y luego de 6-7 días de reposo?
No, eso no me afectó. Todo bien, todo normal. Todo bien. Me sentía súper bien.
That did not affect me at all. Everything okay. Everything felt as normal. I felt really good today.
Over there, he can do some serious damage. That was a big
I got to ask you something. You know what? We didn't see a lot of fly balls hit to left field, but that ball did not seem like he got all of it when he first hit it. And it was funny because we were all leaving the stadium, and I looked at you guys. I was like, what the heck is going on? Where did all this wind come from? And it would have been blown straight out to left field where I was standing. I was like, wow. And I'll tell you what, that ball got up, and it wasn't coming back
Also,
out.
didn't he have a shot earlier? It was a double. It almost was out. Wasn't that Marsh?
It was later on. I mean,
Later on,
again,
he did.
Yeah.
Again, that was later on.
Had 2.
He has tremendous amount of people, because he's in a crouch.
He's a big boy.
You don't realize that he's like 6'3" or 6'4". He's a big, large man, and he's got some leverage. When he drives that ball and backspins the ball the opposite way, man, he's got some serious pop. And he talked about it afterwards when they talked to him about it. I mean, that's where his money is, driving the ball the opposite way.
Did a great job. We need a roofing expert right now. We really do. Let's go to the clubhouse right now. Nick Castellanos.
Marsh's swing breathe into the dugout into the stadium. You feel like just big 3-run swing right there.
Well, I didn't. There wasn't much. Hold on, let him get that. Good. There wasn't a lot of life at all, really, and then that kind of jump-started everything.
And you get a first pitch fastball, and you're at bat.
Sure.
Are you thinking fastball again then?
I saw 3 fastballs in a row from Charlie in my first at-bat with guys in scoring position, which is pretty uncharacteristic. So, after the first one and the guy on third, I wasn't, let's say, like hunting a fastball, but I was ready for it.
In that situation, to keep home like that and to cap a comeback like that, just how important was a hit like that for you and for this team?
Pretty important.
What was it? Just that kind of feeling, that kind of relation, to have that kind of game to come through like that, and especially in a game, in a series like this, how important is stuff like this, and how key is this for this team?
It's pretty key. And moments like that are always a lot of fun, so I enjoy doing it. With that being said, like, we got 3 games left against these guys, so, as cliche as it goes, turn the page.
Even though you guys weren't getting a lot of offense early, did you feel like the at-bats were really good at-bats? You guys were having, working Morton a little bit there, and it was about to come?
Sure. It didn't feel like yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday I felt like we were getting dominated a little bit. Today I felt like we were fighting the whole time.
Do you think that second fastball from Holmes was maybe thinking you were sitting soft and trying to do a little reverse psychology on you? Or?
I have no idea.
I guess, Verlander said the other day he went against his instincts and he threw you a curveball.
Thank God he did. Nice.
Right. So I'm wondering if they're sitting there going, all right, I bet you he's going to be sitting soft here, so I'm going to go throw something hard. I mean, does that go into your thinking of being ready for the fastball?
Maybe. Me being ready for the fastball just was off my at-bat with Charlie, but, the catcher's the ones calling the pitches. So, my instinct was don't let another fastball get blown by you.
Does it ever get old when you, I know you've had a lot of moments, and this is not the postseason, when you go out to right field after a big home run and fans are kind of going crazy for you there, and you I know you acknowledge them a lot. What's that like?
It's fun, man. It's a high, right? Like, it's a cool feeling when you have everybody stand up and just show you love.
You've seen this team do this so many times. This kind of win these kind of games. What does it say about the makeup and the determination this team shows time and again?
I think that I've answered this question a bunch. It comes down to the character that we have in the locker room. We have a lot of veteran guys that are winning is important to them. And when you have a group of individuals that want to accomplish something, we're going to be resilient.